JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, alleged gang leader gets 16 years and 9 months in prison for shooting. Alleged leader of the Screamers gang, Ron Graham, who was found guilty for shooting a man, was yesterday sentenced to 16 years and 9 months in prison. The 28-year-old vendor, who goes by the alias Sauti, was ordered to serve 10 years for illegal possession of firearm and 16 years and 9 months for shooting with intent. In the Home Circuit Court yesterday, Justice Leighton Pusey ruled that the sentences are to run concurrently. Graham was found guilty on June 29 this year after a trial. The prosecution had led evidence that Graham had attacked and shot a man in Arnett Gardens, St. Andrew on April 20, 2020. However, Graham, through his attorney, Diane Jobson, had contended that he was acting in defense of his mother when he shot the victim. According to Jobson, the victim had attacked and broken one of the woman's feet, which led to a confrontation between both men who fired weapons at each other. During the shooting, the victim was shot, while another person was accidentally shot by the victim, Jobson said. 2 men charged for fatal Clarendon gun attack. 2 men have been charged for the fatal gun attack on 34-year-old Everton Harrison of Cuffles District in Clarendon, 26-year-old Travis Hardy, otherwise called Dada, of New Harbour Village, Old Harbour and St. Catherine, and the 31-year-old Raymond Samuels, who is of a Manchester address, were charged on Tuesday with murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. The police arrested and charged both men following CCTV footage and DNA evidence obtained which implicated them in the killing. Their court date is being finalized. It is reported that about 7:30 p.m. on Monday, July 5, Harrison was sitting at a shop when he was attacked and shot several times by Hardy and the Samuels. They both escaped in a vehicle. Woman killed in suspected arson attack. A 55-year-old woman died in a suspected arson attack on her house on West Avenue in Kingston yesterday morning. It's a second firebombing in 48 hours in Kingston Gardens in the strife-torn political constituency of Kingston Central. A police investigator who spoke on condition of anonymity said that the woman perished after being trapped. The assault reportedly began about 3 a.m. Police reached the scene of the fire at 4:10 a.m., with the fire brigade arriving moments after. Residents of Conrad Lane, which runs parallel to West Avenue, reported hearing a barrage of gunfire on Wednesday night. The police said the shootings began about 7 p.m. The niece of the deceased was lost for words as she walked around with her hands on her head, crying out for her aunt. A family friend who lives in Kingston Gardens said that he was devastated by the incident, remarking, "Me feel caught up." He described the deceased as someone who you can relate to on a daily basis. Kingston Central has been rocked by violence since late 2020, with some residents charging that the gang feuds are politically motivated. Oscar Palmer and Doreen McLean Palmer are fleeing the community after their home was firebombed in a pre-dawn attack Tuesday. 12 people, including 2 children, have been displaced arising from that incident. As of July 28, murders in the Kingston Central Police Division have soared by 52% to 41, compared to 27 for the corresponding period last year. Tesha Miller cleared of fraud charges. Convicted gang leader Tesha Miller has been cleared of fraud charges. Miller, who is incarcerated at Tower Street Adult Correctional Center, was cleared of the charges when he appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Thursday afternoon. He was charged in January 2020 with cheating the public revenue, possession of forged documents, and conspiracy to falsify a Jamaican certificate of birth. Miller's attorney Isaac Buchanan argued that the charges stemmed from a matter that was already disposed of. Mr. Buchanan said the prosecution entered a nolle prosequi, indicating the Crown does not intend to continue the proceedings against the accused. In 2017, Miller was fined $100 for pleading guilty to making a false declaration to Jamaican immigration officials. He was sentenced last year to 38 years and 9 months in prison for the murder of Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC chairman Douglas Chambers. 2 Kingston serial rapists sentenced. Taxi driver Michael Swaby and his sidekick Dwayne Edwards, who were in June found guilty of 20 charges relating to a horrific string of kidnappings, robberies and rapes across the corporate area, were on Wednesday sentenced to 38 years and 9 months and 38 years and 5 months respectively by the corporate Aragon Court. The two, said to be illegal taxi operators, were downed by the testimonies of 17 witnesses, 3 of whom were complainants during a trial which started in May. Forensic evidence, video footage from surveillance cameras, and call records analysis, as well as a discarded traffic ticket with Swaby's name, form part of the trail of clues that led to the criminals' downfall in the incidents, which took place days apart, specifically October 31st, November 18th, and November 25th of 2017. Swaby and his co-accused had been on the police's radar for several years, Swaby as early as 2014. Both, following their arrest in 2018, were slapped with charges ranging from forcible abduction, rape, grievous sexual assault, assault occasioning bodily harm, assault of common law, illegal possession of firearm to robbery with aggravation after being pointed out in identification parades. Arrangements were made for the 3 cases to be joined in the one trial, given the circumstances. In the trial, which started in May, the woman, 2 members of the nursing profession, and the other beautician, still traumatized, gave their testimonies through tears, leaving the Standard Times too distressed to continue. It is understood that 2 of the women chose to keep their backs turned to the accused at all times to avoid having to look at them. The women in their testimonies detailed the modus operandi of the 2, who typically struck at nights using the same white motor car. Police issue advisory on airport travel during curfew. The police are reminding the public that persons who are traveling to and from the airports during curfew hours must have a copy of their travel itinerary. The police added that the person doing the pickup should also have a government-issued identification card to speed up the verification process and minimize delays. Prime Minister Andrew Holness last week announced tighter curfew restriction in a bid to curb a new spike in COVID-19 cases. The curfew begins at 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and ends at 5 a.m. the next day, and on Sundays and holidays, the curfew begins at 3 p.m. and ends at 5 a.m. the next day. 180 new COVID cases, 5 more deaths. Jamaica recorded 180 new cases of COVID-19 and 5 additional deaths on Thursday. This brings the total number of confirmed cases to 52,684 and the number of virus-related deaths to 1,187. The deaths include a 29-year-old female from St. Catherine, a 35-year-old female from St. Anne, a 55-year-old male, a 60-year-old male, and a 67-year-old male, all from Kingston and St. Andrew. Of the 180 new cases, there were 107 females and 73 males with ages ranging from 1 day to 95 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew, 57, Westmoreland, 20, St. Catherine, 19, Manchester, 15, Hanover, 14, St. Anne, St. Elizabeth, St. James, 12 each, St. Mary, 7, St. Thomas, 4, Trelawney and Portland, 3 each, and Clarendon, 2. The country also recorded 28 recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 46,966. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.